Aussie Open versus FDR has been announced for New Japan's Royal Quest, Night 1. Aussie Open are said to make their Progress return as Violence is Forever set to make their Progress debuts. All 3 TNT and GCW shows will be available on pay-per-view via Fight TV. The first 2 matches for ICW's Fear and Loathing have been announced. Roy Johnson has announced his second Everything Pat in London show. And we now have the format for the World Tag Team Festivals over in WXW Germany. Hello and welcome to TNT Great British Wrestling Podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net and the John's Podcasting Network. I am the host of Great British Attack, Mr. Andrew Moore and D2 Most. Joined as always, he is Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short. How we do?
I am a happy camper. I'm a very happy camper because my lovely, amazing wife, Amy, has got me an early birthday present. And I am going up to Liverpool on Thursday to watch Supreme Extreme. And I cannot wait.
Yeah, big shout out for TNT Extremes. Help him with that birthday present for yourself. Contact us for press tickets. So Big Daddy Dan is going to be there representing us, TNT, and the bodyslam.net team. He'll be photographing all the action, telling us all what's going on. And then next week, he will likely tell us all about the show yourself live. I will be picking up the pay-per-views because, as I say, they're going to be on Fight TV. I'll talk about that in just a short time. A couple of things we'd like to get to is Pac is the first double champion in AEW after he and his Death Triangle cohorts picked up the vacant 6-man or trios championship. I mean, I still don't get Pac and Death Triangle fully.
And they're 3 guys that work together well. Leave it at that.
Yeah,
I don't get it very well either.
I guess because I mean, yeah, I just how do the conversations go down in the locker room? Is the interpreter bloke just constantly on?
Who we already know isn't needed because Penta's already spoken before. So but fair enough. What matters is the match was fantastic, as it would be, because they were up against the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy with Danhausen. And you, if you've seen it, I'm sure are happy because Danhausen got punk kicked in the face by Pac. So
don't mess with Pac.
Don't mess with Pac. People should be very aware of this. Don't mess with Pac.
He's not one to joke around. He's not a playful, joyful wrestler.
He is the bastard.
He is the bastard. He will brutalize you with his brutalizer.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations to fucking Pac. Go on, son. Well done. UK representation. Now we've got some good stuff out of the way. Let's talk about some bad stuff. I don't really want to talk about it because it's horrible. But we're going to talk about it anyway because we are a news and entertainment podcast. We provide you the British and wrestling news. So I'm going to start off with Primate because this was actually one that I was unaware of. Regardless of I didn't know that there were accusations against Primate. There are alleged accusations. Well, they can just be accusations, not alleged. They are accusations of alleged indecencies. That'd be the way to put it. And I didn't know this. We never really championed him in NXT UK, but still we continue to talk about him. And I saw he was announced for Prime Wrestling in Newcastle. I liked and shared the tweet. Then I found out, then I read some of the quote tweets that were coming out of it. And obviously I deleted our tweet and we wrote out about, there are accusations against Primate for alleged indecencies. And for the sake of people, this needs to be looked into and investigated. And we need to make sure everyone is protected. Both fans, performers, and backstage staff. He was also announced for the rebirth of IPW UK. I'll let you continue there, Dan. You're about to.
I was just going to say, yeah, you did exactly the right thing with that. IPW UK announced their new show, and
Under returning old management.
Is under returning old management, who have previously been called out for many, many different things.
Even long before speaking out actually occurred, the accusations, along with, I'm going to mention it, they are alleged, but there's proof out there. There are articles out there that have all the text messages that were shared.
Now, there were a number of new and younger wrestlers on this show, as well as Primate. When it became known on Twitter who was running the IPW shows, the younger talents immediately found out about this and pulled out. They were not willing to be on the same show, and we respect them for that thoroughly.
Indeed.
The owner of IPW then started making accusations and threats online to people that had called him out. And Twitter was very amusing for 24 hours. And I must say that we can join the national trend of people in Brit Wres who have been blocked by IPW UK. We didn't feel the need to share that. I thought it would just go without saying. Yeah, threats were made to non-wrestlers, and a lot of wrestlers backed up those non-wrestlers, and it was very entertaining. So, all in all, don't go to an IPW show, don't appear on an IPW show, and remember the person who's doing this and the way they have acted.
Indeed, as I say, the accusations date quite a distance back, which is why some of the younger wrestlers who were agreed on the show weren't aware of some of the past transgressions of this person, of the IPW owner, Daniel Elder. Anyway, I'm going to talk about another subject that is good, bad, indifferent, I don't know. Now, this is something I didn't actually pick on last week, but it's kind of trending a little bit, and that was Dan the Booker Man from Pro Wrestling Eve. He got on the mic following his show, on his all-women's promotion, Pro Wrestling Eve, one of the best all-women's promotions worldwide, contains a myriad of amazing talent, great connections with Tokyo Joshi Pro, so you get a lot of crossover talent. They also bring in tons of American independents, and how good their shows are just shows the depth of women's wrestling in the UK. Now, he laid out a challenge to all promoters out there, promotions, not just in the UK, but worldwide, and said, if you've got a 4-hour show, give your women 1 hour. It is the 1 hour challenge. And I mean, this actually counts for 3-hour shows as well, to be honest. 3-hour shows should be around 45 to at least an hour on the show. And that's my firm belief. I know a lot of people, well, why can't it just be 50-50? I will say, well, there is about a 3-to-1 talent difference between the amount of male performers as there are female performers, but there are more than enough incredible female talent in the UK that the top promotions out there, and RevPro UK outright I'm going to call out because they are absolutely terrible for promoting women's wrestling. I'll be honest, looking at the recent Pro Wrestling TNT cards a little bit, especially TNT, because they've always been so good at promoting women's wrestling. They're the only promotion I'm aware of in the UK that has women's tag team wrestling as a feature with a women's tag team belt. I know North Wrestling NCL, their tag division is just intergendered. And there are a lot of great promoters and promotions out there that do, but I have noticed maybe a little bit Progress and TNT, especially with some of these more recent shows with the GCW guys, I've noticed, I think there's 10 matches on the Progress card. There is only one women's match.
There's 2 on the GCW card I'm going to on Thursday. I'm excited.
Two on the TNT Extreme one still. But yeah, so we're just putting it out there. We 100% back this.
Yeah,
we love
110%.
this. I love the fact that Dan has called these companies out, and I'm reprimanding, and I'm doing the same. I'm naming the promotions out there that I feel just need to do better. ICW would be another one. I don't think they're really they're doing good, but they're typically only still 1 to 2 matches a card, and they're not the longest on the card by a long shot. And we just need to see this improve. And it's not just the UK. I'm not just, WXW Germany is a promotion that I provide a lot of promotion for, and their women's division is not particularly great.
It's about 3 wrestlers.
Yeah. Whereas a promotion like Rings of Europe have their glam division, and they bring in a myriad of UK talent. So if they can bring in the UK talent to do it, then the promotions in the UK damn well should and could. And I think 1 hour challenge, we back it. Do you want to? Sorry, I took up all the rant there. Do you want to go on a bit of a rant?
No, you nailed it. I just want to point out that we do have phenomenal British female wrestlers. We have such great talent. Put them out there. Let us enjoy them.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? Because I'm going to be doing one thing later, and we'll talk about it. But next week, we are going to be putting together another all-women's cards ourselves to show just how easy it can be done. So check out next week for our fantasy booked all-women's card as we back up the Pro Wrestler of the Eve 1 hour challenge. Now, should we do some fantasy booking right now before we get into the rest of the news?
We can do.
Why not? Now, last week, Repro UK, they announced their British J Cup, and their format is going to be 4 qualified matches and a fatal 4-way show, and it's going to be 1 show in Stevenage. Big Daddy Dan has already got his tickets booked. Is it October 22nd?
Yes. So I just got booked for a disco on the 21st, and I had to make sure it wasn't on the 22nd.
So that's going to be an amazing show. And that's another thing the UK has a myriad of. We've got just loads of amazing British juniors, cruiserweights, whatever you want to refer to them as. So I'm going to allow you to go first, Biggie Dan, because I did just go on a large rant. I'll let you. What's your format?
Well, I was originally going to go for an 8-person format, the same as they did in Stevenage. And then you told me that you were going to do the Japanese Super J format with 2 groups of 10. And I thought, because of the sheer volume of talent that we've got here in the UK, I was going to do exactly the same and copy you.
That's exactly why I did it. It had to be. There is so much talent that I couldn't leave out. I'm like, I can't do 8.
Yeah,
16's just not enough. I need at least a couple more. There we go.
Here we go. I will tell you who I'm going to have wrestling who in the first round, and I'll tell you who it is I'm going to have win, and you can make up the rest in between yourselves. Yeah. So, first round matches. We're going to start off with Ian Skinner versus Smashing Mike.
So is this Group A?
Yep.
Okay.
Ian Skinner versus Smashing Mike. Tommy Kyle versus Tom Felwell in a battle of the Toms. They will come out, of course, both to the music of Thomas the Tank Engine. We will then have our entertainment match. Kid Like Us 2 versus Scotty Too Hotty, Scott Garland.
Okay.
I'm considering him British because he's spending a lot of time over here at the moment.
I'm allow it.
Man Like DeReese versus Robbie X.
So I assume you'll go in for the 225 and under.
I am indeed, because I think that this match, as a first round match, will throw everyone, because everyone should think this match should be a finals match. Then I want to see Daz Black versus Charles Crowley.
An interesting one.
Yeah, I think that they could have a good match. Now I'm going to throw in another person who's going to demand their spot here, because they're going to say that they are one of, if not the best wrestler in the UK, in that weight division, Rio.
Love it.
I'm putting Rio in there.
Absolutely love it.
Anyone that argues that they shouldn't be, I'm sure she will batter. And the first person she will batter is Riley Nova. Great up-and-coming wrestler. And I think he and Rio would have a great match. Malik versus Tate Mayfair's next in a battle of egos. I would then have Maverick Mayhew versus Just Joe Lando. And Callum Newman versus Danny Black. You're going to have both of the CPF guys going off against each other in those.
Like it.
And then my final match would be bringing in Nino Bryant and Ethan Steen. Because I think now is the time that Ethan should be seen all over the UK. And we then go through and through and through in all of our different matches until we reach our final. And our final is going to be Robbie X versus Tate Mayfair.
Nice. I like that. Good choices. Very good choices.
It's a tough one. Do you go with the elder statesman who's still bloody young, or the young upstart? And I think that this is going to be a win for Tateness is Greatness, and Tateness is Greatness is going to be winning our Brit Wres Super J.
It.
Thank you.
I like it. Now, I didn't do my first round matches, so I just did 2 groups of 10, basically. So what I've gone and done now is quickly done. I've got semi-finals and finals.
One-upmanship.
Yeah, well, you had the first round matches, so I thought, okay, I got to try and think of something here. Okay, in Block A. Now, like you, I wanted to show just how much talent and how diverse junior wrestling is in the UK is as well. So, Chris Ridgway, Cara Noir, Corey McRae, Martin Kirby, Nico Angelo, Ian Skinner, Daz Black, Michael Oku, Leighton Buzzard, and LJ Cleary.
I have issues with a couple of those.
Who have you got issues with?
Ridgway and Noir, and to a lesser extent, Oku.
They're like well under 205.
I know, but they're too big a names to be on this tournament.
They're like because I believe that junior wrestling is just as big as heavyweight wrestling. And, you know, I always believed that there should still be weight divisions. The only difference between that is both the cruiserweight title, junior heavyweight title should mean just as much as your heavyweight title. And juniors can main event and heavyweights can main event. It doesn't matter. I don't believe in the WWE or New Japan way of saying juniors are lessers. I think juniors are just as good as
just one
heavyweights.
hamburger away from a championship.
Yeah, so that's why in my eyes, yeah, as I say, juniors would have a title that is just as important as the heavyweight. So I'm going to change it, not juniors, it's my cruiserweight title. Because I think the junior heavyweight makes it sound bad. Okay, on the other side of the blocks, Mark Haskins, Robbie X, Kid Lycos 1 or Kid Lycos, Just Joe Lando, Callum Newman, Danny Black. Yes, they're all in the same group. Leon Slater, Connor Mills, Craig Anthony, and Jack Bandicoot. So there we go. As Jack Bandicoot, I just think he's one of the most innovative wrestlers in the UK right now. He's just so bloody good. Yeah, Nico Angelo is just fantastic as well. So he's somebody who would do really well in my block A. I think the senior guys like Ridgway, like Noir, like Haskins, like Kirby, like Robbie X, they are big names, and I wanted the big names for the tournament. And young guys like Lee and Slater, Callum Newman are just going to blow people's minds. Ian Skinner in there. That's going to be a great match against someone like Ridgeway. But
I'm genuinely shocked. No Tom Felwell.
Yeah, I just couldn't get him because there's just too many. As I say, if I dropped some of the bigger names, like the Kirbys, like the Noirs, like Ridgeway, like Cassians, Robbie X to a lesser extent, to the same extent. If I dropped those type of names, then yeah, Felwell would have been on there. Same with what's his name, Thorne over in ICW. Dylan Thorne would have been on the there as well. Maybe someone like Luke Cairo would have been a good name. Another because the Scots need to be represented as well. Maybe Martin Steers over, but you still, as you say, other guys that I still missed out, as you mentioned, Tommy Giles, Smashing Mike. It's just so many great cruiserweights out there right now, juniors. Whatever
we
you
are
want to call.
very lucky.
Okay, so my semi-finals are Chris Ridgeway versus Craig Anthony and Daz Black versus Connor Mills. And then,
Let's see Daz Black, Connor Mills.
And then in the final will be Connor Mills versus Chris Ridgeway. No, Craig Anthony. No, Connor Mills and Chris Ridgeway. It's just so many. It's just so hard. How are you going to do it? I'm going to go Connor Mills, Chris Ridgeway, and I'm going to give the win to Connor Mills because I've championed Connor Mills for so long. And when we had Eddie Dennis on recently, it was so awesome to have somebody the stature like Eddie Dennis match that. You saying the things that I've said about Connor Mills in the past. He's the most underrated. He deserves more. He's one of the best wrestlers in the UK right now. So I'm going to have Connor Mills win.
Fair play to you.
There we go. Now let's get on.
Actually, let's just be 1 second here.
Yeah.
We've both gone for not the big names winning.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. I think it shows the growth and development within the UK scene.
Yeah, I wanted to give the shines, and I was always going to give Connor Mills the win in my one. So I hope that Connor Mills is in this year's Rev Pro UK J Cup, and I hope Connor Mills goes on to win it because I think, as I say, been underrated for too long. He deserves a shot now.
Well, someone that is definitely not underrated is FTR. And they have been announced for the NJPW Royal Quest Night 1 in Crystal Palace in London on the 1st of October. Their opponents have now been announced, haven't they, Andy?
Yeah. It's going to be FTR versus Aussie Open. 2 weeks ago on this program, I said FTR are going to be on New Japan Royal Quest, and so are Aussie Open. We're this close to getting FTR versus Aussie Open, and now we're getting FTR versus Aussie Open. It's going to be great. I love both of these tag teams, two of my favorite tag teams in the world right now. Aussie Open, 100% one of the best. Same goes for FTR, 100% one of the best tag teams in the world right now.
Definitely. There's only one problem. It can't be a 5-star match, can it?
Can't. It's not in York Hall. Only in the UK can you get a 5-star match if it's under Rev Pro UK and at York Hall. Don't people know this by now? It's going to be a great match, and you can see why already that night 1 is almost sold out.
Yeah, it is going to be a brilliant, brilliant match. It's going to be a great show, and I am surprised and impressed and happy that they have sold so many tickets.
I know the Bullet Club are going to be there, Gallows and Anderson as well, so I wonder who they'll be taking on. But give me your winners.
Aussie Open.
Aussie Open. I do believe the titles are on the line as well, the IWGP Tag Team Championships. So that would really be good to give Aussie Open right now the strong openweight Tag Team Championships, as well as the IWGP Main Tag Team Championships, solidifying them just before the the New Japan Tag League and Junior Tag Leagues that are coming up.
Assuming they still hold it after defending against Good Brothers on night 2.
Possibly, exactly. It'd be interesting. But speaking of huge news, and that is the fact that the TNT and GCW, all 3 shows, 1, 2, 3, the GCW Supreme Extreme, TNT Extreme Supreme Extreme, GCW Liverpool, and GCW versus TNT Extreme will be available on Fight TV on pay-per-view to watch live, and it will cost just $29.99, so $9.99 a show. I think that's a very, very reasonable price. So we will be picking them up. I don't know if we're going to be possibly trying to do some sort of post-show reviews on bodyslam.net. As we say, Big Daddy Dan is going to be there for night 1. So we look forward to seeing you in the crowd.
You will do indeed. I am so excited. There's a few matches I'm excited for. Kings of the North versus Lando and Newman. I can't wait. I know that you would love to be there for Blake Christian versus Dean Allmark. I'm super excited for Live Birds versus the She-Wolves. I think that is going to be absolutely brilliant. And I cannot wait to see men like Doris absolutely batter Matt Cardona.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't go for the Tate Mayfair versus Jordan Oliver match.
Well, that's because Tateness is greatness and it doesn't even need discussing.
Yeah, it's true. He is the greatest professional to walk planet Earth, and yeah, he's just going to walk all over Jordan Oliver. And you can hear me arguing about these matches, debating, discussing and predicting our matches. We did a live preview with the great, awesome Jameis from the United States. He gave us the lowdown on GCW guys. I gave the lowdown on the UK guys, and you can check that preview out. It's actually available right now as our pinned tweet on Twitter. It is also available on YouTube. As I say, there's so many great matches this weekend from TNT Extreme and the GCWs, plus the Progress show, because we thought we'd throw that in there for you as a bonus. So do us a favor, go check them out. One of our highest rated videos live on Twitter we've ever done. It's our first. We will be looking to do live interviews, possibly going forward. The Brit Wres Roundup will still come as a pre-recorded show.
And just to mention it, seeing as you mentioned live interviews, we did do an interview yesterday, which will be going up in the next week, with a brilliant young British talent who I put on my J-Cup list.
You did. I noticed. I'm glad you did.
The one, the only, Mr. Smashing Mike.
And he's got so much energy. It's he doesn't even know the meaning of the word tired.
Nah.
Okay, so tired doesn't exist in his vocabulary, in his dictionary. It is a fictional word. Anyway, carrying on with some TNT Extreme news. They're going to be following up these TNT GCW shows with a TNT Ignition show, No Limit, which is on the 25th of September. It'll be a joint show in conjunction with Wrestle Island, who are over in Birkenhead. So they're going to be crossing the Mersey, and we're going to be getting a Wrestle Island Championship match. And it's a doozy. It really, really is. Because Lance Rivera will have to defend his championship against former NXT UK star, former first ever WCPW heavyweight champion, held heavyweight championships across the UK, Joseph Connors Unrestricted.
It's
a big match.
It is a huge match.
It is.
Huge match.
Alexis Falcon will also be putting her TNT Extreme Championship on the line, her women's championship, now that she's finally given the boot to Charles Crowley and all of his antics. She will be defending her championship against the Northern Bruiser, Gia Adams. Again, that's going to be a fantastic match to watch. I think it's going to be really underweighted, and it's a match I would telling you guys when it becomes available to see on Pro Wrestling TV. If you're not going to be able to see it live, you have got to see MVK versus JJ Webb. I think MVK is MVK. Falgabius is one of British wrestling's best kept secrets right now. Absolute powerhouse. He's got size to him, athleticism, speed. I think he's got a huge career ahead of him. He needs to break out a bit more. In this match against JJ Webb, who is one of the top heels in British wrestling right now, it's going to be an underrated match to watch.
It is. Yeah.
Joey Hayes versus Sean Only as well, which again, that's going to be a great match. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Sean Only coming out of Kamikaze and the Wrestle Island.
Cool.
So, there you go. Excellent. Progress. Now, as
sorry, I was still on Big Ravy's one. Everything patterned.
Oh, no. Sorry, yeah, I will. That I moved that one. I must have been the last one. So we're doing that one after the Flash Morgan Webster news.
Fantastic. Progress are in action this weekend with handshakes and cheeseburgers. Just in case you didn't see our preview, where we talked all about this. By we, I mean Andy, the Great British Attacker, the man who knows it all, the man who was recently interviewed on Tom Talks Rubbish. Do check that out.
Oh, yeah, definitely go check that out.
Yes. Aussie Open are set to return to Progress at the Deadly Viper Tour, codenamed California Mountain Snake, and at Return of the Fly on the 25th and 27th of September, respectively, at the Dome in Tufnell Park. Is Mountain Snake, it's Return of the Fly.
Yeah, so this is obviously Mark Davis recently made his return, but without Kyle Fletcher in tow. Now they're going to be coming back full to Progress. It's been a long time coming because they've been about in the UK for a while now. I mean, it's like Progress are now bringing them back once they've now left the UK. So I wonder what sort of deal RevPro UK must have had with them for a short time. Because, as you say, they rarely showed up anywhere else apart from, where else did they show up? OCT over in Ireland, and I think they did a couple of modern pro wrestling shows as well. But obviously, they're very close friends with the guys who run that one, so it's probably not that surprising. No. Other than that, they made very few appearances outside of RevPro UK. So, but good to see him back because they are like two-time Progress tag team champions.
Yeah, it's great to see him back.
I think they're two-time. It might be three-time. They held the belt on some occasions. They had great feuds with CCK, with the Grizzled Young Veterans, of course, and they also had an incredible one with the Swords of Essex. So good to see him back. Another tag team that is making their debut is Violence is Forever. This is a tag team of the team Kevin Q and Dominic Guarini. I know they made some appearances for MLW, but I think Black Label Pro in the United States. Now, it doesn't actually surprise me that much for these two shows because both of Aussie Open and Violence is Forever are in Germany on the 30th of so it's not surprising that on the 27th and on the 29th because they've got, I think,
hopping over the water.
Yeah, because they've also now been booked for Modern Pro Wrestling Nomad, which is in Manchester on the 29th. And before we have 12 o'clock flights out to Germany, and I decided, well, we're going to have to be at the airport somewhat early. I might as well just stay in Manchester. Now I've also realised that Modern Pro Wrestling is in Manchester, so I may do a
You've been wanting to go and see them since January.
Exactly, so I might have to do a little drop by at Modern Pro Wrestling, the night before I travel, just because they're on and we're there.
It seems silly not to.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, as we say, that is both the California Mountain Snake, which is 25th of September, and Return of the Fly, 27th of September. Violence is Forever and also Open will be at both shows. But there's more to Progress.
There is indeed. Shigehiro Irie will be taking on Gene Money, and Dan Maloney versus Elijah have both been announced for Return of the Fly. That's the 27th of September show at the Dome in Tufnell Park.
No, Shigehiro Irie is on the Deadly Viper Tour. No. Wait, which one is she go on?
While we decide on that, I will tell you that definitely Rio versus Tonga and the Young Guns returning to team up will be happening in Manchester at the O2 Ritz on the 9th of October at at Deadly Viper Tour, codename Sidewinder.
Yeah, so much happening with Progress right now. It's actually quite difficult to keep up with all that's going on. But yeah, it's California Mountain Snake will be the show for Shigehiro Irie and Gene Money. That is on the 25th of September. There is also an Atlas Championship match at the O2 Academy in Birmingham on the 25th of September. That is Luke Jacobs defending against Big Damo, the man he beat in the first round of the Atlas tournament to win the Atlas Championship. Also announced is Lana Austin versus Kanji. Let's say that's all on the 25th of September. California Mountain Snake, Deadly Viper Door. Dan Maloney is at the Return of the Fly show.
Speaking of Dan Maloney, I'm just going thoroughly off topic for a minute. I finally watched the ITV wrestling comedy show Deep Heat.
Oh, did you?
Yes. It's brilliant. Go out of your way to watch it. Dan Maloney appears in 3 episodes, as does Mariah May. Neither of them have particularly big parts, as does Little Legs, as does one of the UK Pitbulls. It's just really, really, really funny. You don't need to be into wrestling to watch it, but let's be honest, if you're listening to us talking, you're into wrestling and you'll enjoy it even more.
I have been meaning to crack down and watch that, so I will definitely go out of my way. It's good to see Rio and Tonga back in action for Progress. Tonga especially, it seems like she's been gone for so long. As I say, that will be at the Return of the Fly show on the 27th of September. Young Guns, amazing to see Ethan Allen is back.
Yay!
And the Young Guns will be reuniting as a tag team because although Luke Jake has been killing it as a singles wrestler with match of the year contenders all over the country right now, I love the Young Guns and I need to see him have good long tag team runs and go wow the world as a tag team as well as single competitors. So Ethan Allen, welcome back.
Ethan Allen needs to pull back together Northwest Strong and remind everybody why they are the absolute top team in the UK.
Indeed. So they're going to be at Sidewinder, O2 Ritz, 9th of October. Millie McKenzie is set to face Alexis Falcon on that same show. So big shows coming to Manchester as part of the Deadly Viper Tour. What's going on over on Snake Charmer?
On Snake Charmer, we have the Greedy Souls cashing in their #1 contenders chip for the tag team titles against whoever holds them at the time.
Yeah, and that's going to be on the 16th of October in Cardiff. So, of course, the Welsh boys are going to get their tag team shot in Wales. They won their tag team title opportunity in Wales, so now they'll be taking their shot in Wales. And Session Moth Martina will be the guest host for that show. So I'm expecting a lot of entertainment out of that one.
Should be a goodie.
Now, did I recently watch a Progress show? I'm pretty sure I did. But we're running a bit long, so we're going to leave a review. So, TNT Extreme. No, you can check out on Pro Wrestling TV right now. Project X has just been uploaded. And Going Off Big Time was the last show on there. I watched it recently. I gave it 3.5 sugars. I'm not going to go through all the matches. Progress, not the Welsh show, the one that was just before Wales. Warriors Come Out to Play. That's available on the WWE Network or on Progress on Demand. I gave the show a watch myself. It is a really good show. I can give it 4 sugars.
Nice.
There we go. Let's move on to ICW.
The first 2 matches have been announced for ICW Fear and Loathing on the 20th of November. Daz Black will defend the ICW 0D Championship against Theodoros in a match that Andy has been waiting for. Plus, the odds have been stacked against Kez Evans as he defends his championship in a fatal 4-way featuring Leighton Buzzard, Stevie James, and Craig Anthony. Go on, Andy. Who do you think is going to walk out champion?
Kez.
I'm going to go Stevie Jones.
No, Kez Evans is going to retain that title until it's Craig Anthony versus Kez Evans 1-on-1. That's when he will drop that title.
I don't think they need the belt for that title, for that match.
And then Leighton Buzz is going to cash in on Craig Anthony straight after, the same way Kez Evans cashed in on Craig Anthony straight after he won the ICW title, and just rub more salt in that poor Craig Anthony, and then it'll just add more fuel to that comeback again. So, and I am just also a big fan of Craig Anthony as well. So
that's fair.
I'm going to go to the bat for my boy.
Cool. OTT. We don't normally do much OTT news, but this is a biggie.
Yeah, it is Subculture's first tag team reunion match, as Flash Morgan Webster will be teaming once again with Mark Andrews. So I wonder how this is going to work, because I know Mark Andrews and Eddie Dennis are keen to get FSU back together as well. So where's Andrews' loyalty going to lie? Is it going to be to Webster? Is it going to be to Eddie Dennis? We'll see. But for now, they're going to be in OTT at I'm Going to Fight Them All, which is on the 25th of September in Dublin. They'll be challenging the team of Charlie Sterling and Adam Maxted, which is just a team of two bloody superb specimens of human beings. And yeah, that is it. But of course, I still prefer the Smoking Aces, Nick Riley and everything. But on other news, Flash Morgan Webster will be running training sessions out of the Barracks Pro Wrestling School in Stoke-on-Trent. So I think he's going to be a full-time trainer over there. You know, who better go learn from than Mr. Flash Morgan Webster?
Now, I'm just going to throw in a little bit of news here, because we haven't mentioned it on what was coming up. But last night, talking about ex-NXT UK guys, Oro Mensah was advertised on NXT. You may not know Oro Mensah, but you will know Oliver Carter. And Oliver Carter is going to be on NXT 2.0, although he's not, because NXT 2.0 was cancelled last night, and it's just the return of the black and gold NXT. So yeah, very happy that he is staying on with WWE, and can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah, Oliver Carter we were always big fans of Oliver Carter, so massive to see him over here and competing. So yay.
Right, now we're going to move on to
Big Wavy.
Big Wavy. Roy Johnson has recently announced Everything Pattern 3, which is technically Everything Pattern London 2. It's going to go down on the 23rd of September at the Main House Cabaret in London. 4 of the matches on the card have been announced so far, featuring some of the best BAME talent in the UK. And of course, Everything Patterned is a BAME talent show. And I will let you announce the matches, and then I've got a little bit of news regarding that.
Okay. Alexander Roth, one half of the 8-7 with Roy Johnson. He will be in action, current UKPW champion as well. He will be in action against Remy Atunji. Now, if you haven't seen Remy Atunji, go see him. He's damn explosive, and he's powerful, like a absolutely jacked dude, and he's gonna be a big star. And as I say, he's gonna be the breakout star right now for me. Out of the Rev Pro contenders, Remy Atunji is going to be the breakout star. 3 amazing young talents in Big T Justice, KM Lane, and Bruno Brown. An excellent women's match featuring Ronnie Knox and Livy Grace. And then in the main event, it will be Levi Muir versus Big Wavy himself, Roy Johnson. As I say, it's going to be a fun show. It's great to see BAME talent getting represented.
It is now. The Grapsody site has released their BW 500. Excuse me. This is the 500 top black wrestlers in the world, according to them. And we have a number of UK talents that have made it on there. At 272, Big T Justice. At 225, Man Like DeReese. At 201, Levi. At 179, Rio. At 141, it's Tonga. At 137, Alexander Roth. And at 136, Big Wavy Roy Johnson. But the highest rated at 133 is a favourite of ours. It's Clementine. So yeah, it's awesome.
Isn't Rampage Brown in there as well quite high?
I believe so. They were just the ones that I happened to see that have been shared by the absolutely awesome and amazing Elliot.
Yeah. So this was done by Righteous Reg of Grapsody, and you can catch Righteous Reg of Grapsody on the Body Slam channel show, indeed, along with Mike.
Michael Oak, who's at 45.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. I'm just having a flick through now.
Yeah, but as we mentioned, there's still more talent that they could have put on there, honestly, from the UK. So along with the all-women show that we said we'll put together, let's put together our own little Bane card again as well. So next week on the TNT show, fantasy booking, Bane and all women shows. Gonna be a great one. Don't miss it.
Rampage at 78.
Rampage at 78. I thought he was pretty high. Good to see how high Michael Oku is, because he certainly deserves it. But you know, did they have Leah Slater in there? I'm sure you mentioned.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. But as I said, one of the best kept secrets, Valgabius. And a few others that I think possibly could have been on there that aren't on there. So we'll get to it. But I'm sure they'll be making names for themselves in no time indeed, including our latest interview, Smashing Mike. But let's get back to some announcements from across the UK scene, starting with British Wrestling Revolution over in Grimsby on the November 18th. They'll be back in action. RKGA will be defending his heavyweight championship against his family, as he will have to fend off the challenge of both Zack Knight and Roy Knight in a triple threat match. Ricky Knight Jr. versus Zack Knight and Roy Knight, triple threat, BWR, November the 18th, and that is BWR's last stand.
North Wrestling NCL have announced the World at Large for the 15th of October, and US independent star Warhorse will be in action for North Wrestling once again.
Indeed. Going down south now to Bristol Pro Wrestling Chaos. I have a double header show in Bristol on the 26th of November. Show 1 will be an all-women's show, the Maiden Voyage, Maiden of Chaos, with featuring stars such as Tonga, Ava White, Nina Samuels, Riho, Lana Austin, and more. You've also got show 2 in the evening, All or Nothing, which has Danny Jones, Tate Mayfairs, Harrison Bennett, and the Smoking Aces, and looks set to feature some sort of 6-man ladder match.
Hammerlock have announced tag team action at the Tradition Lives On show on the 29th of October, as the 8-7 Roy Johnson and Alexander Roth will take on the Rebellion, Taylor James and Jack Toreno, in Maidstone in Kent. Plus, they have announced that NXT UK star Zaya Brookside will face off against Rhea O'Reilly.
Good. Wrestle Island. The Island have announced the first ever annual All Valley Under 23 tournament. Said to feature some of the best young stars from across the UK. Under 23. That'll be an interesting one to do. Actually, at some point we should do our own under 23. Unfortunately, probably done a bit too much with Bane and a women's show to do. I'm not sure if we can put together. Might be able to put together an under 23 show as well. We'll think about it. You never know.
It's got to be all Bane women under 23.
That's going to be down. Have to go worldwide for that one.
Riot Cabaret are back in action on the 18th of October, recently announcing Flash Morgan Webster, The Greedy Souls, Harley Hudson, Spike Trevay, Joe Lando, Alexis Falcon, Murdoch, Session Moth Martina, Charles Crowley, Sunshine Machine, the 0121, and Nina Samuels, because everyone needs more Nina. They will all be in action at Slapham Grand. The show is set to feature a tag team turmoil match or tournament to crown the first ever tag team champions.
Indeed. Of course, Nina Samuels is the Riot Cabaret Women's Champion. Because she's awesome. The world needs more Nina. The Nina Samuels show. Hashtag. Curation Pro Wrestling. They've announced kind of spooky wrestling for the 14th of October. Recently, there will be, recently announced is a battle of two of the most underrated talents in the UK, Harrison Bennett and Brady Phillips. I really recommend checking that match out if they release that on YouTube.
Definitely.
We're going to talk a few European.
I mean, there's something going on over in Germany soon. That are you heading over there for it?
I'm gonna make my way to Germany on the 30th of September.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fly out there. I'm gonna go check out WXW Germany's World Tag Team Festival.
Yay!
And I'm also going to be there to see their Femme Fatale show, which will be part of the lineup. It's going to be the first match, first show of the whole event. And we now have the first round matches. So I'm not sure if this is going to go on to semi-finals and finals, or if it's just going to be a fatal four-way final. But I look forward to finding out. Anyway, we have Ivor Koloski versus Killer Kelly, the Portuguese sensation, making her way back to WXW Germany via becoming an Impact Knockout. So really looking forward to seeing Killer Kelly in action. She never got a fair due on NXT UK. They always just never gave her a fair shot. And Ivor Koloski, she comes out of Hungary, very athletic, very got some great little high-flying moves, so somebody to keep an eye on. Alice Inc. From Sweden will be taking on Nikki Foxley, who I believe is an American, but I don't know much about her, unfortunately. I know US Independent standout right now, Masha Slamovich, is going to be facing another US Independent standout in Ava Everett. French superstar Anastasia Bardot will be facing Hungarian Orsi. Orsi is an absolute powerhouse and somebody, again, I've seen a lot of recently and think there's a hell of a lot of promise in her as a competitor. I'm really looking forward to the all-female show, the Femme Fatale show. There's also got the main event match up of the returning Amal challenging along with Calypso for the WXW Germany Championship, which is currently held by, I blanked on her name, maggots, Baby Allison. There we go. Sorry, Baby Allison, you deserve that, and I'm terrified of you. Please don't hurt me. Anyway, of course, there's the tag team festival itself. We now know that it'll be a round robin tournament with the group of, well, the 8 teams split into 2 groups of 4. In Group A, you've got Pretty Bastards, Sanity, the Frenchadors, and the Calamari Drunken Kings. In Group B, you've got Amboss, Fuminori, Abe, and Shigehiro Irie, Violence is Forever, and Rot and Flopped. So let me try and go for my predictions here. So from the women's side, Killer Kelly, Alice Inc., Masha Slamovich, and Orsi all to progress from the first rounds. Who will make the finals in Group A versus Group B winners? That's a bit more difficult. I'm gonna go Sanity versus Amboss.
I'm going to go Calamari Drunken Kings versus Rotten Flood.
There we go. There we go. There you have it. There's some stuff going on in Italy with SAJ Wrestling. Would you like to tell me about it?
Callum Newman is off to Italy on the 22nd of October, where he'll be competing for SAJ Wrestling at their Blast Burn show. He'll be joining the bad boy, Joey Janela, and Kid Bandit. Janela was due to face Francesco Akira, can no longer be to the show due to a change in the New Japan schedule. The show will also feature an 8-person tournament for the Open Weights Championship. Former NXT UK star Wild Boar is set to take part in the tournament, along with Adriano, Aaron Sky, and LG. Italian stars Nico Inverardi and Mirko Mori, also known as BBB, plus Max Peach.
Indeed. There's just been announced that Joey Janela will be part of the tournament, and Kid Bandit will be facing off against Max Preach. I'm hoping Callum Newman will be part of the tournament because winner. But good to see. I mean, Callum Newman, he gets booking all across Europe all the time. Both him and the close personal friends are constantly getting booked all over Europe. So well deserving. Young man's been killing it. We love it. We love him, and love to see British wrestlers doing excellent all over the world. Speaking of more British stars going over to Europe, it's Rings of Europe this time over in Austria. We'll be talking about their Wrestle Clash 24, which is on the 5th of November. Lucia Lee and Nina Samuels will be joining the ROE's Glam roster. Both will be appearing at Wrestle Clash 24. Also announced, Man Like DeReese will be making his debut against a gentleman by the name of Rock and Roller. There's going to be a ton of Brit Wres stars out there. You've got Darcy Stone, Simon Miller, Livy Grace, Will Cruz, Emerson Jane, Callum Newman, Joe Lando, and Chantel Jordan. They've all previously been announced to the show. The show will feature a Casino Rumble. Other matches, you've got Marius Al-Ani versus Erkan Salkani. Michael Kovac defends the ROE Heavyweight Championship in a no DQ match.
Awesome. Another company that we need to talk about is Copenhagen Championship Wrestling. Because they are coming up to Scotland. They are bringing their show to the UK, and they are going to have the brilliant show Dane Spotting on the 29th of October. That will be at the Lochwinnock Community Annex. And they've got some brilliant Scottish talent going to be mixed in as well. Coming over confirmed so far are Looking Sharp, Ruby Potters, Nitro Green, Seb Silvers, Buffer, Colton Davies, Ewan O'Rourke, Sebastian Day. It's going to be a great show.
It will be, and we're working on getting a couple of talents in from Copenhagen Championship Wrestling. Tell us all about those shows. That show coming forth very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Now, with that said, just remember, everyone out there, never feed the trolls.